Oh, well, I guess that's that. We're not getting the fight. November 14th, we were supposed to be getting the Gervonta Davis and Jake Paul fight, but it looks like that's scrapped, and we're not getting it. Now, Gervonta Davis is a world-renowned boxer, world champion, knocking motherfuckers out left and right, and knockout artist, elite one-hit puncher, one-hit quitter, getting motherfuckers out the ring, and that's what Tank is known for. And then you also got Jake Paul on the other hand, and now Jake Paul is one of them social media stars that's kind of getting to the game of, getting into sports and turning it into a whole WWE type of spectacle, you know what I'm saying, entertaining, combining sport and also combining entertainment, into kind of give you what you got, your MVP promotions. And Jake Paul has a promotional company where he's, throwing these events, throwing these spectacles where he's boxing motherfuckers. And I don't even want to call this like a real boxing events. He boxing motherfuckers like Tyron Woodley, Nate Robinson, really athletes that's coming from other sports, crossing over into the boxing ring. Just like him, crossing over from media to the boxing ring. It's kind of a fair situation when those early fights were going on. But people wanted to see, Jake get in the ring against a real boxer. That was really one of the things that everybody was really talking about. When is Jake gonna get in the ring against a real boxer? And when he finally does, well, he fought Fury brother. He fought him in a while. But then nobody's really tripping off that. So when him getting in the ring with Tank, that was one of them things where people like, okay, he get in the ring with a real boxer, but it's also somebody that's completely out of his weight limit. So the fight never really made sense from the jump anyway to a lot of people. It never made sense. But, we were about to get it. We were about to get ready to get the clash off between Gervonta Davis and Jake Paul. We had the press conferences going on. We had the face off and everything was happening. It looks like it was about to go down. But then, as usual, some shit pops off with Tank. Now, Tank got hit with a civil lawsuit. It's basically one of his ex-girlfriends or just a woman he was dealing with at the time. And she's, filing this lawsuit over domestic assault and him putting his hands on her. It looks like really this is one of the things that's caused the fight to end. It's a lot of different speculations, a lot of different reasons, a lot of different conspiracies. People are saying that the fight got canceled. We really don't know. Now, with the incident with the Gervonta Davis going pretty much just driving down to Tootsie's, the nightclub in Miami, Florida, and putting his hands on his girl. Now, that's the thing that's really just happened, I want to say at the end of October, that's really caused the fight really to officially be canceled. There are a lot of conspiracies of people that are saying that there are other reasons why the fight got canceled, but we're going to talk about that a little bit later. Right after this fight got canceled, a lot of talks were starting to happen about who could a potential replacement be. You had the likes of Rolly that put his name in the hat.
Top of that, I'm tired of Jake Paul and all these circus shows he's doing. So I guarantee every single one of you guys, in 1 week of training, I will stop him and I will end all these YouTubers' hype because they're wasting our time in this sport because we want real fights. Why is he not fighting a cruiserweight? Why is he even wasting his time with a 135-pounder?
You had Edgar Berlanga put his name in the hat that he was ready to go ahead and fight.
Hey, Jake. Pick up the phone, champ. I've been calling you. Pick up. Let's make the fight happen. Pick up the fucking phone, man. Stop playing.
Fucking Jake.
Shit, you even got Clarissa Shields that said she would go ahead and take the fight. One of the people that decided that, this is disrespectful. Why y'all even calling me about this? Why y'all calling me about this? Was Francis Ngannou. Now, Francis had some really, kind of choice words he had to make about Jake, and it came off very disrespectful. Like, hearing it initially, you would probably think he's being respectful, but it's disrespectful what he's saying, you know what I'm saying? But he felt disrespected by even getting the call in the first place. So it is what it is. This is what Francis had to say about even, getting the call. He was pretty taken back by it.
What can you tell us? Is there any possibility that Francis Ngannou will step in for Gervonta Davis and fight Jake Paul?
No, there's no such of thing happening. Basically, like how can they go from like Gervonta Davis to Francis Ngannou? Like, I mean, Gervonta Davis is a fantastic boxer, but and is a one-shot knockout artist. But come on, like the weight different and everything, it make no sense. The Gervonta Davis, you say, okay, the size different can level up. But at this point, for me to, it make no sense.
Did they reach out though? We see a bunch of names that are out there as potential opponents. Did Jake's team reach out to you and at least express to see if you were interested?
Yes, Nikisa reached out the other day and tell me how they need a replacement for Gervonta, and after I listen or I wasn't getting it, then I say, okay, what can I do for you? What exactly? He said, yeah, we're looking for a replacement, but I still haven't get it. I was like, okay, then what exactly can I do for you? He was like, yeah, can I like can you like we think about you to fight Jake? I'm like, what? Say we think about you to fight Jake to replace Gervonta. I'm like, who's Jake? Like I was so confused, like I wasn't expecting that at all. And he said, yeah, Jake Paul, he's fighting. And I'm like, no, bro, come on. Don't, I mean, don't disrespect me like that.
And once Francis made those comments and TMZ dropped the video, Jake had to go ahead, go on social media and say what he had to say. You know what I'm saying? They had a back and forth, and we got a chance to really see how that went down on social media. So Jake goes on and says, "Dear Francis, just say you already got humiliated in boxing and you're scared to lose to Jake Paul. I accept that. You're a light work, my friend, stuck in the mud." Francis goes ahead and then replies, "Choose your words wisely, boy. I agree that you need someone to discipline you for what you did to Mike Tyson, but stay in your lane." Jake gives his reply, right back after that. "My lane helped your lane. I spoke up for you over and over again. No more. Look at yourself in the mirror. God don't like ugly. Maybe the truth is you're a faker than holier than thou actor, when it's always been just about you. Maybe use your platform to speak on the youth of your country. Posting a flag ain't it. Instead of doing TMZ interviews like a con man to talk about me, reality check. I sleep you in boxing. John Jones does in," he used emoji, but he's basically saying John Jones knock your ass out in the octagon, and I knock your ass out in that square circle, my boy. And the conspiracies of why this fight got canceled, a lot of theories. Like, we know that, Gervonta Davis, this incident is terrible. We need to see the footage before I start jumping off the porch of what I really want to say and get into that. All I'm going to say is Gervonta Davis has had a track record of domestic violence and putting his hands on women. Netflix, Jake Paul already knew about this. So they knew about these incidents and this checker pass that this man has had before the fight was even called. Now that this incident has came out, this isn't a criminal case, this is a civil case, but it does look bad. It will look terrible, especially when Jake has MVP promotions and one of his main focuses growing the female branch of boxing, you know what I'm saying? And sticking with the female athletes. And he's doing a great job at that. So this would look very bad right after the incident if you go on to promote it. But the thing is, like I said, they knew about this in the past. So how much did Netflix and Jake really give a damn? Because Netflix, as soon as that shit went down, Netflix scrapped every type of promotion that was dealing with the fight. I'm talking about all on Instagram, not on Instagram. I mean, all on the Netflix channel. You can't find nothing that was promoting the Jake Paul or the Gervonta Davis fight. It got scrapped. People were thinking like, this fight really didn't even have any ticket sales. Maybe it was a low, maybe the ticket sales were very low. And Jake even said it himself. Jake went online to make a post and pretty much saying that, Gervonta Davis was just terrible to work with and he's just a terrible person altogether. So was it the fact that he wasn't promoting the show? Because Lauren LaRosa even said that, one of the things that she heard is that it was low ticket sales, Gervonta Davis was difficult to work with, and also it was just the fact that, you know, the show wasn't selling, it wasn't going to be profitable. So they had to really either not find a reason. I'm not gonna say they found they found a reason to scrap the fight. But Gervonta Davis, that's on him. I don't know if it's true or not, bro. The fact that you even put yourself in this situation. If it's video footage, Jake said it's video footage. Jake literally said it's video footage of the whole thing. He called in to Aiden, and he said it's video footage of this whole thing actually going down to where this man Gervonta actually pulled up to Tussie's and put his hands on his woman. If it's video footage of it, we eventually gonna get that footage, y'all.
Yeah, bro. I mean, like, people don't realize how much effort is put into these training camps and, like, how people literally don't see their kids for months at a time. And this guy is, like, such a piece of shit, bro. He pulled up to Tootsie's and beat up a girl, dragged her through the parking lot, and punched her in the face. And it's like, bro.
Okay.
Like,
wait, but how do you know that happened?
It's a lawsuit. Miami-Dade is coming. There's video, like everything, bro. He did this shit in public. Like, you have to understand, this guy was sober, driving to Tootsie's, and it's just like, I'm gonna beat this girl up. Like, he wasn't even drunk.
So hearing that is very graphic. It's really one of them things where, like I said, we got to get the footage. Eventually, we will get it. I feel like the footage is probably getting bidded to the highest bidder, or auctioned off to the highest bidder at this point. I don't know who gonna buy it. TMZ, Hollywood Unlocked. One of these blogs eventually you're gonna get it, or Gervonta probably gonna pay to have the video scrapped. That's one of the things that may happen as well. You never know. Nate Diaz even threw his name in the hat, and he was willing to go ahead and step up and fight. But it looks like that's not really gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? But Jake did commend him for even, stepping up and be willing to step up to the plate and take on the fight. So last minute, we're not getting the fight. It's not happening. We can always speculate what the real reason was, but at the end of the day, the fight got canceled because Tank can't stay out of shit. You know what I'm saying? He can't keep his motherfucking hands to himself. There's no reason why we should even be in this situation constantly, bro. It seems like it's every year, every 2 years. It's so hard to be a Tank fan in this type of situation. Like, and what I'm saying is, yes, I was a fan previously and I knew about this stuff in the past, but you know how you try to give somebody grace and, what I'm saying, you hope that things get better and that they'll change. And this is one of the things that Jake was saying as well, that apparently he was hoping that, Tank had changed and this was an opportunity for him to, show the world that he is a changed person, that he is this, rejuvenated athlete that's changed his life and is no longer on that bullshit and putting his hands on people.
And the other thing was, like, Tank Davis has a checkered past. He had a checkered past when this fight was made. What changed? Well, obviously, 2 incidents, allegations, lawsuit. Since the fight was announced, they at the time felt like this was an opportunity for people to learn about who Tank Davis is, for him to show the world that he was a changed man, all this stuff and more. And that didn't happen, and they felt like they had to cancel the event. For the record, I feel like this was 100% the right call. You can't be a promotion that is so heavily invested in women's boxing and work with a guy who has allegations and lawsuits pending like Tank Davis does. You just can't. It's a mixed message, and what they're doing with women, I think, is fantastic. I think it's brilliant what they've done, focusing on women's boxing. It calls into question everything that they've done to build that up when you do a fight like this. And so there are other fighters, other opportunities. You have to move on. They said that they had an investigation. They looked into it. They feel comfortable moving on. And I think it was 100% the right call to move on. It is not the right look. It is not the right message. It calls into question everything that they're doing with the women, which I think is one of the best things that they're doing.
But that's one of the conspiracies that people were saying, that if Netflix really cared about that, they wouldn't have had them on the card in the first place. But low ticket sales and lack of promotion was probably really one of the real reasons why this fight not going down. It was an opportunity to say, hey, we got to scrap it, boom, and get rid of it and save our money and cut our losses. Because they supposed to be paying him $40 million. You know what I'm saying? So if I can go fight, Nate Diaz and give him $2 million and cut my losses because nobody really entertained by this WWE event, then that's what I'm gonna do. But I need y'all to let me know down in the comments what y'all think about this whole thing, bro. Did Tank ruin his career? Is it over for Tank? And then who y'all think Jake's next opponent gonna be? Do y'all think it's gonna be Rolly? Do y'all think it's gonna be motherfucking Edgar Berlanga? Who do y'all think? Let me know down in the comments down below. And if you like these kind of videos, what I need you to do, go ahead, tap into the ones that I got right here above. And if you're watching, like I said, go ahead, hit the comments down below. Go ahead, smash that like button. And like I said, if you watch right now, go ahead, subscribe to your boy. I'm going to catch y'all in the next episode. Peace. We out.